Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening for all my LinkedIn family. Happy Friday, first of all, to all of you, and I wish you a life full of health and prosperity. Before we move on, I would like to ask you, as usual, can you please write where are you from and if you can hear me or not? Okay, I can see people right now tuning in. Yes. Okay, guys. I want to tell you that LinkedIn has absolutely changed my life 180 degrees. And I'm sure that it could help you also and do the same for your life. Many people think that LinkedIn is just a job hunting platform, and it's totally wrong concept. That's why today's topic is related to how to build influence on LinkedIn. And our guest today is very special man. He is a kindness ambassador. He is a content consultant. He is a super connector with the best minds in the world. People like Tony Robbins, people like Gary Vee, he's well connected with them. He coaches entrepreneurs, he coaches CEOs, he coaches executives, he coaches founders, he coaches speakers, coaches, and even consultants. And from my perspective, what differentiates him very well, his unique voice. Can I ask you to welcome with me Ahmad Imam? Ahmad,
Right, brother. It's a pleasure to
welcome.
be here.
Welcome to the show, man. How are you? How's everything with you?
I'm doing excellent. So it's 6 o'clock here, 6 p.m. in Sydney. But I'm glad to be here with the audience. I can see people have joined us already from the other side of the world compared to where I am. So it's great to be here.
Nice to see you, Ahmad, and thank you for having your valuable time and giving your valuable time. May I ask you if you can share a little bit about your amazing story, and inspirational story that you started on LinkedIn?
Yeah, sure. I started on LinkedIn in October of 2018. So that was about 2.5 years ago now. When I started, I didn't know how to create content. I was a little bit shy on video because I didn't really record myself on video before. So that's all something that I had to teach myself, and it requires a lot of courage. I say it requires courage to be a content creator, and you would know all about that. Some of the stuff that you're putting out is different to what people are putting out. But I taught myself how to do that. And slowly you find that you build a community and people that start to believe the things that you believe, as long as you're talking about things that you genuinely believe. And over the course of 2.5 years, I've now built a following of a little under 1 million, which even just sounds surreal to say. But we'll talk about all that today and how I've done that, and also the opportunities that become available to you when you start to actually build influence, and not just a following, but influence. And that's the difference we're going to talk about.
This is exactly, I love what you said that about community. It's all about community, because most people, they think that LinkedIn is just a job hunting. They can go for a company to a company, or they can find only about opportunities, which I think it's LinkedIn, it's better than this, just being networker and connector. So coming back to that, I would like to ask you, what could be the best advice for people right now, that our audience, if you can give them like advice, how they can build influence on LinkedIn from zero, based on your experience?
So let's start with the definition of influence and what that all means, because a lot of people hear that and they think about Instagram influencers or YouTube influencers, and I feel the word influencer has lost meaning. In the same way, the word entrepreneur has lost meaning, right? Like entrepreneur used to mean something, influencer used to mean something. So being able to influence is having the inner ability to lift people up to your way of thinking. So the ability to lift people up to your perspective. And essentially influence is about authority. If people believe you, if people believe the things that you're talking about, and they see you as someone that's a credible source and someone worthy of listening to, they're going to come back and they're going to be a loyal, raving fan of yours, and you will have the ability to bring them up into your way of thinking. So that's what it's all about. So in order to do that, in order to actually build influence, that means that you have to talk about the things that you're thinking about. You have to talk about the things that you believe in. You have to talk about your values. You have to share stories about yourself. You essentially have to showcase your personal brand, a genuine personal brand, and everything that you stand for. Because what then happens is you find people who believe the things that you believe, and that's how you build a community. So in order to build authority, you have to showcase yourself and position yourself as an authority. And an authority is someone that is a leader in their industry, is someone that is knowledgeable in their industry, or at the very least, someone that is considered popular in their industry with some credibility. And so social media is a great way to do that. And to answer your question, the best way to actually influence people and the best way to accelerate that is to create original content. Okay, create original content. So I'm not talking about grabbing YouTube videos and sharing them, or grabbing a quote from Google and sharing that. I'm talking about holding your phone up to your face, pressing record and talking to it, sharing your story, sharing a message and being consistent with that message. If it's not video content and you're more of a writer than someone that is, let's say, comfortable in front of video, write your message. Just talk about what you believe in, your values, why you do what you do, share your expertise and start building that authority.
Beautiful, Ahmed. I'm so curious because I know your story. I love your story even. So you spoke about that you have some struggles on self-esteem, I would say. So
Yeah.
how did you overcome all of these? Because I'm sure 100% that most of our audience right now, they won't listen this. How did you convert these struggles into real triumph and real, I would say, changing your life by your thoughts? How did you overcome all of this? You were shy, and then suddenly, I don't believe in 2.5 years that the way you speak, the way you listen, the way you influence people, it's totally different. How did you how you were able to change this?
And look, to be clear, it wasn't 2.5 years. So I mean, it was 2.5 years that I built my following in. Absolutely. It was 2.5 years that I built that level of influence. Yes, but it took me a lot longer to build up my self-esteem, my own opinion of myself, my confidence, my courage. That was a long-term process. And I love answering this question because people see me now and they see this confident person and this person that influences, and on my videos, I'm very polished and articulate. And believe me, I wasn't that way before. So for the people that don't know my story, even just 15 years ago, I was a very shy and awkward kid. I experienced a lot of bullying in school because I was different. I looked different. You mentioned the unique voice. I sounded different. My family immigrated to Australia when I was 4 years old. And so prior to that, I was born in Egypt. And when I came to Australia, I couldn't speak a word of English. So I was an immigrant in a different country. But I was bullied quite a lot in school. And by the time I finished school, I was so beaten down and shy and awkward. I had no confidence. I had a very low opinion of myself. I couldn't even look people in the eyes. That's how shy I was. And I didn't even want to speak to people because I didn't feel like I deserved to take up the voice space. So to answer your question, I was introduced to Tony Robbins when I was about 18 or 19. I was working at a pizza restaurant. I was just making pizzas and washing dishes. And my boss at the time introduced me to Tony Robbins. And I'd never seen him before. And I took up a challenge by Tony Robbins. And I started to do things that were outside of my comfort zone. So I was terrified of public speaking. I mean, I couldn't even look people in the eyes. I was terrified of speaking publicly. So I did things to jump out of my comfort zone. So I would purposely volunteer to MC a friend's wedding, or volunteer to do a sales presentation, and just volunteer to do things that really scared me because I knew that I would grow through it. And when you do that over the course of 10 to 15 years, you just build this solid foundation of real confidence. And that's what I've done. I've just worked to perfect and master the skill set of confidence, of speaking, of public presentation. And so now I can speak to you. I can speak to groups of thousands of people and be completely confident in who I am because I've done that work. But I don't want people to think that I just woke up one day and I can speak like this, and I can articulate myself like this, and I can present the way I do. Believe me, it didn't happen like that. It took some work, and anybody is able to do that.
Simply, I would say inspirational, Ahmed, as I told you, because you were a big source also for taking a step for me, even from moving from writing into speaking, because every time I feel that I need to have a positive vibes, I always open your amazing videos and I take it, and I hope that one day I can speak like you. Seriously, it is inspirational, and I hope that everyone in our with our audience listen to this, because this is a real success story that you can change your life from nothing to be everything. This is once you change your mindset. So I want to come back to our audience, and I want our audience to make use of Ahmad Imam today. Ask him the questions. I don't want to flow organically with my questions only. Make use of Ahmad Imam. Ask the questions,
Yeah.
and we will jump into your questions once you write it. So I'll move into the next question, Ahmad, till we receive the questions from our audience. So I heard you that you speak about influence and following. So can you please elaborate what is the difference between the influence, how to build influence, and how to build following? Because I think that there is big difference between both.
There is, and people think that when I say I help people build influence, that I just help them build a following. That's not true. So there is a very big difference, and the difference is essentially authority, right? Like I said, influence is authority. You could give me a LinkedIn account tomorrow, a brand new LinkedIn account with 0 followers, and I can almost guarantee you within 3 months, I can build a following of 10,000 people. And I'm not saying that to be arrogant. I'm saying that because if all you want to do is build a following, there are ways to do that. And how you would do that is you would simply grab popular content, content that has gone viral previously on YouTube. You can grab that, you can post that on LinkedIn. You can get some viral images, viral quotes, and you can grab that and you can post that on LinkedIn. It's other people's content that has already worked for them. If all you want to do is build your following, you can do that. And there are many people that have done that on LinkedIn. But you have to ask yourself, do they really have authority? Do they really have the ability to influence? They don't. And that's because they haven't been putting their personal brand out there. And here's how you know if you have built influence or not on LinkedIn, for example, considering we're on LinkedIn. If you have built influence, then whenever you post, you'll start to see repeat visitors on your post, right? If you have built influence, you'll start to see some loyal and raving fans that actually come in to tune to you and your opinion and your perspective. If you have just built a following, then a lot of your posts are just going to be filled with first-time visitors, people that are seeing you for the first time, they're drive-by visitors, and that doesn't have much authority attached to it. So influence is something that requires strategy. You have to be deliberate. You have to be very strategic in your approach. A following, however, is just a combination of luck and taking someone else's viral content and using that. But my suggestion is for anyone that's thinking of just building a following by using third-party content and YouTube videos and everything else, I ask you not to. Believe me, it's the easy way out. You can take the easy road or the hard road. The easy road is to use someone else's content. The hard road is to create your own personal brand and use your own original content. And there is so much power and authority that comes with that.
Lovely, lovely, Ahmed. Thank you so much. And it's very obvious, as you said, that at the end of the day, what is the end objective of your journey? Are you?
That's right.
Are you doing? Why? Just inspiration, it's good, but what if it takes you to? You will dilute your personal brand. It doesn't make sense. You're just if you are just for inspiration, you can go and do that. But if you are for a specific objective, you can move into the personal branding. And I think that we have the first question here from Fadi. He's asking, I think, that the same centric question. Here's my question. How do you turn your LinkedIn influence into profitable business?
Excellent. Now we're talking. So look, I see a lot of people trying to monetize their following a little bit too early. If you've just grown a following of, let's say, a few thousand people, and then you try and monetize that, you might just be doing it a bit too early, because what that will do is restrict you from growing further. And it'll also turn your audience off because they haven't had enough time to build that trust. But you can certainly reach a certain stage where you start to be able to monetize your influence. And you can do that in so many different ways. You can do that, first of all, by sponsorships. So, for example, I've had sponsors approach me asking to sponsor my LinkedIn lives, or asking to sponsor my live shows or events and things of that nature. And they actually will pay you so that you can then promote either a product or their service. And my response to that is make sure that if you do want to sponsor, or you want to start receiving money from a sponsor, that you take on someone that actually aligns with your brand. Okay, don't just promote a can opener. Make sure that it's something that actually aligns with who you are and you want your audience to see. There are ambassadorships. So some businesses might want you to represent them as an ambassador. And that is also paid. And again, you'd want to make sure that that particular business actually aligns with what you do. There are opportunities to consult, to coach and consult. These days, the beauty of internet and social media and influence is if you just have a LinkedIn profile and a PayPal account, you can make money. That's all you need. You can create some content. You can reach out to people in the direct messages because you've got that social proof once you have influence, and then you can ask them to pay you via PayPal, right? There are so many options, but the best way I like to put it is have an offense strategy and a defense strategy. Your defense strategy is putting out content, compelling content that actually talks to your expertise and has a bit of a call to action so people know what you do and how they can reach you. And that will have people reach out to you. But at the same time, you have an offense strategy. And the offense strategy is at the same time reaching out to people in direct message that are within your target audience. And they will then go to your profile, they'll see your content, they'll see your social proof, and they'll be more inclined to use whatever service that you're currently trying to promote. So there are so many options. It really depends on your business. It depends on your niche. But at the, consulting, coaching, sponsorships, ambassadorships, brand deals, I mean, there are so many different options that you can use. And I actually recommend multiple, so you can have multiple revenue streams. But I also don't recommend monetizing too early. Make sure you build up the trust with your community first. And you do that by giving out free value after free value after free value. And when you reach a stage where you've given enough value that you feel like you've built a pretty strong community and you've built some raving fans, then you can monetize in a very genuine way.
Thank you, Ahmad, so much for the valuable insights. Coming back to our audience, I would ask you guys, because I know that we have too many comments. So excuse me, I will jump into the questions because we have the time. Yes. So I will move into the second question from Shadi Al-Jaki. He's asking either a specific action I should do or follow on LinkedIn.
Yeah, excellent. And look, when I first started Shadi, I followed a number of practical steps to at least get the ball rolling. Okay, because when you start off with 0 or you start off with 1,000, you need to do something to at least become visible. And that's your goal. Your goal is to become known, so become visible. And you can do that by creating content and engaging on people's content. The best way to start is just start commenting. If you don't want to create content, just follow influential people on a platform that you admire, that you aspire to be, people that inspire you, and leave interesting comments on their post. You can start off that way because comments are actually a form of content, believe it or not. But I followed a number of practical steps. So I actually built up a bit of a foundation by doing a combination of creating content, engaging on people's content, and building a community, right? So I would actually connect with about 20 to 25 people per day. And I would send them personal connection invites, as in I would go to their profile or I would view their content and I would send them a personal message. So it doesn't sound like I'm just doing a copy and paste or I'm just, someone that's lazy that's trying to connect. It's a personal message. And I would do that daily. I did that daily for about 6 months. So every single day for 6 months, I connected with about 20 to 25 people. And when I say connected, I'm not just talking about pressing the connect button. I'm talking about actually connecting as a human being. So yes, sending them a direct message, getting to know them in some capacity, building a relationship with them, and then engaging on their content. The second thing is I would spend at least 30 minutes per day engaging on content in the newsfeed. And not just engaging by pressing a like, actually adding some value so that people see your content. They remember you. They remember you as the person that added that great comment. And I would spend 30 minutes per day scrolling through your feed, adding a like and a value add comment on different people's posts to support and uplift them. And then I would spend time actually creating content. So you might spend 30 minutes per day creating and posting a piece of content. And if you want to start off, you might not want to start off with a video. Yes, a video can be overwhelming. Believe me, it took me 1 hour to record my first video, which ended up being 47 seconds. And it took me 1 hour because I would record it, watch it back, delete it, record it, watch it back, delete it. So if you're overwhelmed by creating content, just start off by writing a text post or posting an image. Or you can write an article. I mean, there are so many different options as to what content is. But if you follow those practical steps and you do that for at least a few months, you're going to build some very good habits. You're going to build some great relationships, and you're going to build some serious momentum. So I hope that helps.
Ahmad, amazing as usual, for sure. Well, I loved what you say, that there's a big difference between networking and connecting. Because many people that they have this kind of I will network with this guy or network with this guy, but if there is no meaning of this network, it doesn't make any sense. So connecting with people, feel, as you said, that we are human, connect with them, speak with them, engage with them. This is the real connection. This is the difference between networking and being connected. Coming back, yes, coming back, Ahmad, I believe one of your strongest skill and power, it's your vulnerability and your authenticity. That's why I will jump into this question from Karim El Komi. So he's saying, what is the best comment and the worst comment you have ever had on LinkedIn? I think
the best comment. Look, I'm very grateful and blessed to receive so many positive comments when I post. My favorite comments, though, are people that truly resonate with my content to the extent that they send me a message, a private message, and say, I just wanted to thank you, that last video, it really helped me to do this, it really helped me to do that, it really helped me to change this. When I feel like I've made a genuine impact by posting a piece of content, that to me warms my heart. So, I mean, they're the best comments or messages that I receive. In relation to the worst comments, Karim, I got to tell you, I've received everything from racist comments, discriminatory comments, anything you can think of, I've received at some point. And I've either responded to them politely, or I've ignored them, or if they were really bad, I've gone to their profile and blocked them. But look, some comments I don't like. I won't go into worse comments because I probably can't even talk about it here. But the comments that I don't like are comments that are just very basic. So when people say something like, thanks for posting, or they leave one-word comments like great, or something like interesting, that doesn't say much. What I love are comments that show me that someone has read my content or watched my video, and they're responding to something I said in the video. Positive or negative, it actually doesn't bother me, but at least I know that I've somehow entertained them or edutained them enough that they pressed play to watch a video, or they read my actual post. So there's some of my favorite ones. And for those of you that are out there commenting, leave some value-add comments. Make people remember you by the comment that you leave. And that's a great way to be visible.
Thank you, Ahmad. You remind me just quick about the same story. It's about the worst comment. And I spoke about it last week when I started on LinkedIn, and I decided to move from writing into speaking and decided to make the first video. I do remember the first, I was very afraid to take this step. And I don't know how people will perceive me, how people will look at me in front of the video. And it happens the same. What happens? I received a comment that I will never ever forget it all of my life. That at some point of time, I decided to quit.
Oh,
I found,
wow.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was
so,
very
so it wasn't a positive comment.
yeah. He was saying that your accent and give me thumbs down because of my accent, because and I stayed like 1 week with myself, and I said I will come back to the writing again because it doesn't make sense because my accent. But I returned back to my why I'm here on LinkedIn. I'm here on LinkedIn to inspire people and change their lives. And as long as my communication is very clear, I don't care, because at the end of the day, my accent, it's my dignity. I don't have anything to be ashamed of. So you, as you said, that you will face many people along the way that they will try to deviate you from your way. So keep moving and don't think too much. And I love
Yeah,
what you
perfect.
say, that it doesn't make sense if there is any bad emotions, go and block. With my due
Yeah,
respect, because I don't have any connection or any networking. Because most
yeah,
people that you will face it from this kind, they're third connection. You don't have anything, but I don't know how they appear in your life. But don't
yeah,
don't think too much. Just block it. Thank you, Ahmed, for
yeah.
your
Well,
story. Really.
well said. And look, uh, I get approached quite a bit by people with accents asking me the same question, and they feel that they're going to get judged or their English is just not good enough to be on video. And my response is always the same, and that is nobody cares. Nobody that matters cares about what you look like or
Mhm.
about what you sound like. What people actually care about is the message and how
Mhm.
you deliver that message, right? So if you have a message that you can deliver that you know is going to help people and benefit people and impact people, nobody cares what your accent is. Nobody cares if you look like Vin Diesel. Just deliver that message. And look at you now. You've got 50,000 people that are fans of yours, people that are getting impacted by you, people that watch your content and learn something, and to think that you might not have done that because you listened to one person. So I'm glad that you gave that a second thought.
Thank
But
you,
I'll tell you what, just on this point, I'll tell you a very quick funny
Ahmed.
story. The
Please.
funniest direct message I ever received
Mhm.
was someone that sent me a direct message, and the message went like this. It said, "Hi Ahmed," and next to Ahmed it had a rose emoji. It was a man. It said, "Hi Ahmed, I just wanted to let you know that I was on your profile and I looked at your profile picture and there's a mistake." And I'm reading this. I'm going, okay. And he goes, "The mistake is your sideburns are uneven." And then he actually took a screenshot of my sideburns, and he put a line like this to show me that my sideburns were actually uneven. And I went back to my profile and I looked at my profile photo and I thought to myself, the only way that he could have seen my sideburns were uneven is if he zoomed in so close to my profile picture. So, I mean, you're going to get some very, very strange messages, and you're going to realize that, look, some people just have not much to do. and they love making other people feel that they're a little bit insignificant. So yeah,
This
there's
is
lots of
exactly.
fun that happens on LinkedIn.
Yes, they show why you're thinking like that. As you said, that there is no what is the objective from that? Why you're saying this? What is the
I
value that I
don't
will
know.
say? This is
I
something
don't
that
know.
that's why we're telling our audience, just start and ignore the noise around you. Move on, move on, move on. Everyone started from nothing. Every one of us starting from nothing. But what will keep you always in the game is your why, your enough reasons why you are here. Just go
Yeah.
on. Thank you, Ahmed. I will come back to the next question. Time is flying. Time is really flying. I will come to the next question. Ahmed El Hamamsi. He's
Hi,
asking,
brother.
yeah, Ahmed Hamamsi is a big fan also of you, Ahmed. So he's saying, what's the buzz with the creator mode and how to make the best out of the boost your profile? Great session, Ahmad Imam and Ahmed Khaled. Thank you, Ahmed.
Yeah, thank you for the question, Ahmed, and great to see you. We've got a lot of Ahmeds in this room now. Usually I'm the only one. So look, creator mode is exciting and there's a lot of buzz around it because this is almost the first initiative that LinkedIn has put forward where they're starting to really care about the creators on the platform. the main source of revenue on LinkedIn, for LinkedIn to generate revenue, was Sales Navigator, was LinkedIn Premium, things of that nature. So their ideal clients were actually corporates and enterprise. That's how they were making their money. They didn't care about the content creators. So this is the first initiative where they're actually starting to show that content creators are important, that content creators are keeping people sticky on the platform. And these are features to help connect content creators and influencers to other businesses so they can potentially work together and do business together. So the creator mode will do a few things. And I actually just got creator mode today. It was actually rolled out to Australia today. So it's getting rolled out to different countries and continents over a timeline. But it's going to do a few things. First of all, if you do LinkedIn Live, ordinarily, when you go live, it's almost impossible for people to find your live if they don't see it in the feed. Okay, they can go to your profile, and if they don't know to go down to activity and then posts and recent posts, they won't find your live. And so they've got this feature now where if you just go to someone's profile and you're live, your banner is going to turn into the live video. Mm-hmm. So they can just go onto the banner and press play and go into your live video, which is a great feature. It brings up engagement on your lives. It's going to give you the ability to showcase how many followers you have right at the top of your profile. It's going to give you the ability to record a personal 15-second video so that when people hover over your profile photo, you can say something personal. You can welcome people yourself in a different way. You can promote a particular product or service temporarily. I mean, it just opens up so many doors for that. And the other features are the way that your content is actually presented on your profile, which is going to be great, especially for the creators. So I just hope this is the very first initiative where they start focusing on content creators, because like Ahmad was saying before, the platform has changed from being a job-seeking platform to now a content creation platform. And people are creating amazing things. Ahmad's creating amazing things. If you see some of his videos, they're like small blockbuster videos. You know, it's like a mini 2-minute movie. So yeah, that's why there's so much buzz about it, because the content creators are now starting to feel like we're receiving some love.
Thank you, Ahmad. And just adding up to you, because of you, I will never go and move and manifest this new step that I take into my life, the short videos, compelling, and being myself. Because as you told me, I do remember that when you are being yourself, you will act like a magnet. You will act like a magnet, and people will come, opportunities will come. So don't be afraid to be yourself, because when I started, I do remember that I was very formal, looking to the camera, giving, the words like this, but people want to connect with you. This is the reality.
100%. 100%.
The first, when I asked you about posting this first video, I was a little bit afraid, to be honest, because it's some new style, and I'm trying to be myself because I love to make people smile. And the best thing that I had, it was the best engagement videos. So as you said, be yourself. Be yourself, and you attract people and opportunities, because it's a blue ocean on LinkedIn. You have many opportunities that you can attract everything in your life if you want.
There is so much opportunity now. It's ridiculous. LinkedIn right now is the Facebook of 2005, 2006. It's such an incredible time. And you're right. I mean, when you're being yourself, you'll attract the right people. Mm. Anyone that doesn't like what you put out, excellent. It's a great filter. They don't have to like it. But what you'll attract are raving fans and people that believe what you believe. And that's exactly the kind of community that you want. And that's who you want to have influence over. So I'm glad that you started doing that.
Thank you, Ahmad, for your support, just to say it. So coming back, we have another question. I know time is flying, by the way. So Dr. Sabrina, she's saying, what is the social proof?
So social proof is essentially proof that you get that other people see you as an authority. Okay, and you can get that by creating content, for example. So Sabrina, if you were to put out a piece of content, or let's say every time you posted a piece of content, you would get quite a lot of engagement and a lot of positive comments and a lot of positive reinforcement. If you were to, let's say, message someone about your services, private message, and they see your message and they don't know who you are, and they're like, who the hell is this person? The first thing that they're going to do is go to your profile. If they go to your profile and they can see that all these other people see you as an authority, see you with some level of influence, you've got some social proof, being people have already engaged on your post and given you that positive reinforcement, and they can see that. That is what social proof is. And social proof has the ability to change people's opinions. It has the ability to give you more credibility instantly. And it has the ability for people to go on your profile and for them, based on public opinion, make a decision about whether or not they can proceed or they want to proceed with your services just based on the overall public opinion. That's why testimonials work very well. That's why recommendations work very well. It's one thing for you to talk about what you do yourself, but when other people are giving you references or testimonials or engaging with positive comments on your content, that does create that social proof. So that's what it means.
Thank you, Ahmed. I hope it's clear, Doctor. So I think we will move into the last question because time is always flying. So the last question, we'll take it from Fadi. He is asking about your checklist for creating great LinkedIn video.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my checklist might be a little different than most because I create some very risky videos. I like to take risks on LinkedIn. But look, let's start very simply, because I like to say if you're creating video content, all you need is two things. You just need a phone and a message. That's it. All you need is a phone and a message. If you've got a phone and you have something to say, you can create a compelling piece of video content. But to take things one step further, what I like to do is lean on a few different things. I like to lean on a bit of vulnerability sometimes. I like to lean on a bit of education, and I like to lean on inspiration. Okay, so ultimately, when you put out a video, it should either entertain people, educate people, or inspire people. It needs to do one of those things. Otherwise, people aren't going to hang around. But sometimes I like to also be incredibly vulnerable and just talk about real stuff. You know, talk about things that I've personally experienced that have been difficult. Talk about my lack of self-esteem, the fact that I didn't have confidence when I was younger. Talk about some bias and experiences that I had in the recruitment industry when I was looking for a job. All the things that other human beings can connect to. Because what you're trying to do is just make people see that you are a human being behind this professional persona. That's how you're going to get some love from the community. You want to be relatable. You don't want to appear that you're talking down to people. You want to appear that you're talking with people and having that conversation. So my checklist for a great piece of content is either something that entertains, something that educates, like how-to content, how to do this, how to do that, my top 5 tips for doing that, 5 things not to do in the marketing space, in the sales space, whatever niche you're in. And then also inspirational content. Put out content that makes people feel good about themselves, because everybody loves that. And my mix is this. And Ahmed, I was speaking to you about this earlier. The idea is that you build trust, okay? So 80% of the time, I'm just trying to build trust. That's it. And I'm trying to build trust by putting out content that people can resonate with, that people are entertained by or inspired by or empowered by or educated by. That's me trying to build trust and build some raving fans. 20% of the time, I'll actually sell, as in I'll directly talk about my services, my expertise, my offering, but I only do that 20% of the time because I want to make sure that I'm building trust first. When people trust you, they're then likely to buy from you and do business with you. So look, that's my checklist for video content. I would also say keep it to no more than, let's say, 2 minutes. People love to absorb short, bite-sized pieces of content, and people's attention spans are getting shorter and shorter. I would also like to say that you can make it very, very easy. So if you're not someone that likes to sit down in front of a phone and press record and start speaking to it, that's fine. There are so many other ways to create content. And I'll give you an example. Content is so easy to create. So you could be on a Zoom call. These days, all of us are on Zoom calls, right? It might be a speaking arrangement. It might be a client meeting. It might be a group call, whatever it is. record that call, record that meeting, record that Zoom meeting, and save it in your Google Drive. But what you can do is you can take that 30-minute piece of content, because that's what it is, it's content, and you can repurpose that into little bite-sized pieces of content. So you take the moments where you were speaking, maybe you were giving a client some advice, or maybe you were speaking about a certain topic in a really passionate way. You can turn that into video content. And that way it feels like you weren't sitting down and trying to create a piece of content for the sake of it. And it also makes you come across very genuine in the way that you would approach your clients, in the way that you would approach others and have a conversation. Now, there are many people out there that are willing to do that at a very small cost. You can find people on Fiverr, you can find people on LinkedIn that are willing to take and repurpose any piece of content that you have and turn it into shorter pieces of content, like 1 or 2 minute videos. So this is something I can talk about forever, Fady, but I hope those tips were helpful. And feel free to follow me. I give these kind of tips all the time. So don't hesitate to follow me.
Thank you, Ahmad. Just one question came into my mind. Why don't you write a book about the secrets on LinkedIn? Because you have great values. I think it will help a lot of people, because seriously, many people, they don't have these secrets that you have, and it will help them even accelerate their building their influence on LinkedIn. Why don't you?
Yeah, look, when I started learning a lot about LinkedIn just from my own experience, I started doing a lot of talking about LinkedIn, public speaking and things of that nature. But I realized I didn't want to be a LinkedIn coach. I didn't want to be known as that LinkedIn person. I've got other ambitions that I want to aim for, and I don't want to be sort of typecast as that. But I'm more than happy to help people with their journey and just pass on the things that I've learned. So yeah, I might not necessarily put out a book, but I'm happy to share, random pieces of content every now and then.
Thank you, Ahmad. Again, it was a pleasure having you today in the show, Unleash, and I would like also to thank the amazing people that they joined us today from all over the globe.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much for that beautiful engagement. And before we close, Ahmad, may I ask you something? I think it's risky, a little bit risky. Can you tell us something in Arabic? Song, anything, please.
Just something. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. And this is just for you.
I'm telling you because I cannot understand how this accent can speak Arabic. It's not easy. That's why I want to hook the people.
I'll tell you what. I'll do you one better. Instead of speaking in Arabic, how about I sing you something in Arabic?
Please. Please.
Let me put it out to the audience. Would you like to hear me sing something in Arabic? If you do, then write a yes in the chat.
Please, guys.
If I see a few yeses, I'll sing something in Arabic for you.
Okay, guys, please. I know that he will hook us, so please write yes. Give them, please, 1 minute, Ahmed. Please, don't go.
I'll give them 1 minute. I know there's a bit of a delay. No worries.
Yes, 20 seconds maybe. So
there's a lot of people that are going to get surprised by this because
I am sure 100% because I know.
Look at this. Yes, salam. Hell yes.
Yes.
Multilingual, educational. Yes.
خلاص. You can move, man.
Yes, please. This is going to be funny. God.
Okay.
As long as you don't use this piece of recording and post it on LinkedIn, even though we're on LinkedIn already. All right. I'm going to sing you all an Arabic song, and I only know about 10 seconds of it. But Ahmed, I'm going to need your help. I just need your help to clap. All right. So can you do this for me?
Okay, I will. Just 3, 2, 1, and we'll go. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. A little bit faster.
Like this?
No, a little bit slower.
But.
All right, here we go. ولا واحد ولا 100 ولا 1300 ولا كل دنيا دية ولا مليون.
Man, yeah. I couldn't believe, seriously, Hakeem. Thank you, Ahmed, so much for having.
Good old Hakeem, you can't go wrong.
You're an amazing person, seriously, and you're inspirational for many people that on LinkedIn, and you were my inspiration, seriously, to change. I would like to thank you for this beautiful opportunity to be on the show today and giving these positive vibes to our audience today. Seriously, we appreciate all of this. And again, guys, please don't hesitate to come and speak with Ahmad. Ahmad, he is a great mentor. He mentored me in everything that I do on LinkedIn. So don't hesitate to come back to him. Ask him about coaching, about anything. He's a great guy. Thank you, Ahmad. Thank you, our audience, beautiful audience. I think that they're laughing. They cannot even write, you know?
It was probably a little bit hard to believe, but
Yes.
yeah, I don't mind making a fool of myself. But Ahmed, thank you very much for inviting me on. You're someone that's become a good friend, someone I respect very highly, and I'm more than happy to do this again. So thank you to everyone for joining us. Thank you for the audience. I'm so grateful to this day for anyone that's willing to come on and just listen to what I have to say, to what we have to say. So I really appreciate it. Thank you very much, Ahmed.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Ahmed. Have a great day. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.